Siddharth the Goa Hotel. We are here by the river, by the sea, the Arabian Sea, where the river Mandavi not too far away in the capital city of Goa. And we are here for the India Today Roundtable Goa, where on the eve of elections, we are going to get all the big newsmakers here in Goa to speak to our viewers. This is an election that has excited a number of people because of the number of parties that are contesting it. And a key element of these parties are the regional parties. And we're going to kick off this India Today Roundtable with some of the regional parties of Goa and what they represent in this election. Joining us now at this inaugural session of the India Today Goa Roundtable, Vijai Sardesai, former Deputy Chief Minister and Minister in the previous government of the Goa Forward Party, now in alliance with the Congress in this election. Okay, let's kick it off with Vijai Sardesai. I can, as a disclosure, say Vijay and I are distantly related. You throw a stone in Goa, you'll find a Sardesai. But Vijay, I want to ask you this because you won 3 seats in 2017. You won those 3 seats on an anti-BJP vote. After the elections, you joined hands with the BJP and made Manohar Parrikar the Chief Minister, which is why some of your critics accused you of being a betrayer. Today, 5 years later, as we enter another election, what does Vijay Sardesai represent this time? What does your Goa Forward, which has now tied up with Congress, represent?
I represent the same thing what I represented in 5 years ago. And the real story behind our action in 2017 can be summarized in a tweet by Digvijay Singh, who was the then chief of the, who was the
General Secretary of
the Congress in charge of Goa, who has said that it was Luisin Falero who sabotaged a pre-poll alliance with us and then sabotaged a post-poll arrangement with us. So my thing is, whenever there is a pre-poll alliance, you can have a post-poll expectation. You don't have a pre-poll alliance, then you don't want us to be in the post-poll arrangement also. Then we had to do something because we had won 3 seats out of 4, a strike rate of 75%. And we had defeated stalwarts of the BJP. Against the BJP, against the Congress and against the Aam Aadmi Party. So we would not be just sitting there. So we decided to get Manohar Parrikar down, demote him from the defense minister to the chief minister of the state, and form a government whose bedrock, whose backbone was Goikarpon. Manohar Parrikar, in the presence of Amit Shah, said it at the swearing in, that this is not a government of the BJP, this is a government of Goikarpon. We are the ones who brought Goikarpon to the political narrative.
Goikarpon meaning a sense of being Goanness. But the question still arises.
I represent the same thing. I represented Goikar and Goikarpon. That was the motto of my party.
No, but you can't. No. You are now. The question is that you claim that you represent Goikarpon, you represent Goanness. But you go into an election seemingly in 2017 on an anti-BJP plank and you join hands with Manohar Parrikar. You are accused of being an opportunist. 5 years later, you have a pre-poll alliance with Congress. What is to stop you? You have 3 candidates contesting. If 2 of them win, which means again a 70, you'll have a 66% strike rate. You'll again come and say, Goikarpon, I will tie up with the BJP.
What stops Sharad Pawar from going to the BJP? The same thing stops me from going to the BJP now. Because we are in a pre-poll alliance with the Congress. We are tied to the Congress before the election.
And after the election?
100% we are tied together.
Irrespective of what the verdict is.
Irrespective of anything. To even sit in the opposition.
No, suppose BJP needs 2 MLAs to form a government. Will Vijay Sardesai join hands with them?
We are not going to be with the BJP forever. That is very clear.
Okay, yeah. Vijay Sardesai, because you had a symbol of a coconut. They have a symbol of a football. And in Goa, football, coconut all seem to represent Goinkar ethos. Goinkarpon ethos is represented by these symbols. But what, as Manoj is saying, is actually Goinkarpon. If you are going to say you stand for Goinkarpon and you are going to allow land of Goans to be taken away by so-called outsiders, which Manoj is accusing the previous governments of, what is Goinkarpon? What have you done for Goans is the question that is being asked by a lot of young Goans today. All of you, according to them, have sold out to the so-called national parties.
See, first thing is, you talked about the coconut. when the BJP government decided to convert the coconut tree into grass, technically make it into grass, so no permission was required to cut it, because they wanted to annihilate lots of coconut trees to bring in a distillery in a place called Amda in Sange. At that time, with that agitation, we were born. So we were born with this motto of Goinkar Bon. Brand Goa sells. That is why you as India today has come here. Brand Goa sells, but brand Goa is not going. Going to us.
No, no,
I'm defining.
You said
I'm
you stand
defining.
for going.
See,
I want a definition.
Rajdeep, see, it begins with going. Going is not Goa as the others living outside Goa see it. The others living outside, like the tourism minister of the country, says Goa is going to be the casino capital of India. So for him, it is casino. For Goans, it is about our cultural, our natural, and our architectural heritage. Now, Goanness is about living with everybody, constitutionally right. It is the regionalism that works and delivers. What is Goinkarpon? We are known for syncretic culture. We are known to be hospitable people. We are known for a different history. Our identity means that we have a different history. We were liberated much later than the country got independent. We are patriotic yet regionalistic. So ours is a party that espouses regionalistic sentiments. Regionalism and regional parties are different. Regional is only about geography. Regionalism, regionalistic party is about an ideology. Now you are telling me to define
Goinkarpon, yes.
Goanness or Goinkarpon, as we say it in Konkani, is about taking the people of Goa forward. At the same time, doing things which are constitutionally right, which are not ultra-virus to the constitution. We cannot be the Republic of Goa. Understand that if we are going to bring in laws, I've been a legislator for 10 years.
Yes.
You cannot bring in a private member bill or a government bill which is ultra-virus to the constitution. You may have it, you may use it as a rhetoric. People, when the anti-Hindi agitation started in Tamil Nadu, the first thing that they talked at that time was to secede from India. But then they didn't take it forward. They still protect their regional identity, yet they are in India.
No, you are regional and yet strongly Indian.
So there are different laws that can be made.
So, give me an see.
Yeah,
I'll give you scores of examples. 1 minute. Yeah. You said that outsiders are defining, or the tourism minister of the country defined Goa as the casino capital.
Yes. He says he wants
you were in power in 2017. You are deputy chief minister.
Yes.
It is your government which encouraged the casino culture. Today in 2022 you are telling me Goa should not be the casino capital.
No. I'm just telling you one thing. First thing is, casinos are there in Goa. But if you say that your plans for Goa is to make it a casino capital, it means that you are going to get in more casinos.
You are not against casinos.
I'm not against casinos. I am not against disturbing the economy of the state. The present economy of the state has taken a beating. It is about these two Indias which Rahul Gandhi has talked about yesterday. The rich India and the poor India. The rich India is not represented only by Adanis and Ambanis here. It is represented by the property Sawant, who is our chief minister, who was a government servant who has gone on to become a mine owner. So that is that rich India. And the poor India are those who are affected by mining closure, are those who are affected by the sale of our river Madai to Karnataka, who are those affected by the entire tourism activity being controlled by people who are not sons of the soil. So if you ask me what I did to protect Goanness or Goinkarpon, I'll tell you several things that we did. As a minister as well as a part of state policy.
Give me one and then we'll move. Give me one thing that you believe you have done to strengthen Goan identity.
As a town and country planning minister, there is a section called 49(6), which means development of agriculture plots and sale of them as settlement, which was opposed by all the activists of Goa. So we made that applicable to the whole state. It means that you cannot just convert agricultural land, develop them into plots and sell it to migrants and make a whole ghetto. Ghettoization of Goa was prevented. Second, we made it compulsory for projects to follow a distinct architecture, which is Indo-Portuguese architecture, which is also very intrinsic to Goa.
I'll come to some of this because there's been criticism that when you were town and country planning minister, you allowed the sale of land to those from outside. You encourage the so-called Delhi land lobby to enter Goa.
How did I encourage? On the contrary.
In this conversion of agriculture to industrial land.
On the contrary, this sale of plots, illegal plots, agricultural subdivided plots, and their illegal sale, the person involved is the present chief minister. And you can ask activists, you can ask Mr. Cloud Alvarez, who has been opposing this from the word go. Who stopped this?
Okay, the chief minister is also to join us later on the round table.
Please ask him.
Okay, we will ask him.
Please ask him about Vijai Ganesh developers.
Vijay, this is the most serious charge that is coming, that out of the 40 MLAs, most of them have some connection today to the land mafia. Most of them either are property dealers themselves. 12 of them are hotel owners, resort owners. We saw even in COVID time, that's why there was a reluctance of some of them to impose a lockdown in Goa. Is Goa for sale? The feeling is that regional parties should be standing up to those who are today saying Goa is for sale. Please come and take over my land is the charge which is being made. And when you were minister, you didn't do enough to stop it.
First thing is, the technicalities of the law, like saying that PDAs were brought by me. PDAs were never brought by me. PDAs have been in Goa from the time of Ravi Naik. So the planning areas, there is something called a planning area and non-plan areas. Planning areas are the cities. So cities are planned differently because the FAR, which you in Bombay call FSI, floor surface index.
Floor space index.
Here we call it as floor area ratio.
Yes.
So here, wherever the FAR is more than 1, you will have a planning area. Planning area comes under a PDA. Now you have got a village like Mopa, where an airport is coming up. That Mopa is going to be a planning area. Nobody can stop it. Just because you speak in a round table here, doesn't change the law. The law is that land in Goa, whether it's in the villages or in the cities, it will be categorized. In the villages, it will be non-planning areas. In the cities, it will be planned areas. Planned areas are those where PDAs come. Now PDAs, what do the PDAs do? PDAs give you extra FSI. So you have, high-rise construction in the cities, which is normal. In which cities do you not have a high-rise construction? Number one. Number two, you are bringing the land mafia. And you are saying that there is a representation of the land dealers in the assembly.
Yes.
Now you tell me, you come to Goa and you want MLAs to be who? Teachers. What do you want them to be? Football players. What do you want them to be?
No problem.
Do you want people?
I want people who follow the rule of law.
Boss,
whoever comes to power should follow the rule of law.
No.
You cannot have people
who says MLAs who are elected to the house are not following the rule of law?
Look at the number.
Who says it? I've been MLA for 10 years. You show me one law I have broken. You show me there. Here you can show me one law that I have broken. Now it is not a hypothetical law that you are wanting to create, that you are trying to, in your dreamland try to create. See, you cannot bring in laws which are ultra virus to the constitution. You cannot say that land cannot be bought by somebody. You can now restrict the buying of that land by increasing certain taxes, by prioritization of the interest
by ensuring that when land is brought, environment rules are observed.
Yeah.
You can ensure.
You'll never able to make Article 356 here. Once it is gone, it will never come for Goa. So that special status that we keep talking about in the assembly during the elections is dead once and for all.
Okay.
Let us understand this. Mr. Chidambaram has said it once as a minister for finance at that time. Before that, Pranab Mukherjee had said it. The BJP successive ministers, Arun Jaitley has said it. That special status for Goa is not possible. Now you bring your local laws. You make local laws to prioritize the interests of the sons of the soil. These are now issues which cannot be settled at a round table, which need discussion.
Fair enough. Yeah. I have 5 minutes and you use the word sons of the soil.
Yes.
That is essentially the plank that even the revolutionary Goans is talking about. Unemployment in this state a year ago was almost 25%, one of the highest in the country. 1 in every 4 Goans therefore did not have a job. And this has become a very emotive issue. I want to understand this. Do you believe somewhere that there is a need for political parties, especially the regional parties that claim to be connected to the ground, to see what can be done?
Yes.
to ensure that the sons of the soil get priority in some form or the other in jobs? Do you believe they should get priority or not? So is there a consensus that sons of the soil should be there? Priority should be for Goans. Is this a consensus across parties? Because some parties have made it part of their manifesto, like the Aam Aadmi Party.
No. I moved a bill in the House as a private member bill 1 year ago, just 1.5 years ago. This was to bring a reservation of 75%, 80% of jobs in the private sector to Goans. Who are Goans now? He'll ask me what is the definition.
Now, how can you reserve jobs? How can you tell a private sector person 80% jobs have to be reserved for Goans? You can do it in government, but you can't do it in the private sector.
No, you can do it. You check what Chautala did in Haryana. The same thing. What Chautala did in Haryana under a BJP alliance government. I was asking them to do it here. But today, just today, the High Court in Haryana has taken cognizance and stayed it.
That's right.
Today, but that is 3 years after he has done it.
But you believe that there should be a law.
I believe that in
private sector also should ensure
100%.
that 80% jobs should be for locals.
Yeah, 25 years of domicile, residency and knowledge of Konkani. After this Chief Minister Pramod Sawant has become the CM, he has diluted the knowledge of Konkani in every sector.
Okay.
Which means he wants to get people who don't know Konkani and give them jobs. Our mother tongue is the only thing that makes us Goans. One, and our birth in Goa. So that is the 25 years of discontinuous, continuous domicile.
Both at a round table before Goa elections, you say a lot of things that we want sons of the soil, we will ensure employment. When you come to power, then you become deal makers. That is what the I think is being suggested.
Exactly. Rajdeep, 1 second. Rajdeep.
You see, the belief is today MGP, which was the original regional party of Goa, has become a party of the Dhavlikar brothers, and they will go where power is. If power is with BJP, Mr. Sudhin Dhavlikar will go with Nitin Gadkari. If power is with Congress, he will find some deal with Digambar Kamath. That is the reputation of the original regional party of Goa.
So you know which way, who has to be connected where?
Sorry?
Who has to be connected where, you know?
No, all I am saying is that I had heard.
They say Gadkari only made this new alliance.
No, but I was told that Mr. Gadkari... No, 1 minute. Vijay Sardesai. I was told that Nitin Gadkari flew to this very hotel on the day after the last elections, met you at 2 a.m. in the morning, and that is how the deal was so next morning that you went with Manohar Parrikar.
No.
Where in this hotel did you and Gadkari meet, and what was the deal?
No. See, Nitin Gadkari...
No, you mentioned it, that's why I didn't.
Nitin Gadkari doesn't happen to be a relative of mine, first.
Yes.
He happens to be a distant relative of Sudhin Dhavlikar. This is what I've heard.
Yes.
I'm not verified. To get Parrikar to Goa, I don't require Gadkari. It is a thing between two Goans. I don't require an outsider.
Did you meet Nitin Gadkari late in the night or not?
No, you had to meet him because he was part of this, because we had to talk about our portfolios. But I didn't meet him to form the government.
Okay.
I didn't require Gadkari to bring Parrikar to Goa.
But it is a sad commentary that in the last 20 years, Goa has had more chief ministers than any other state of India. That is the reality. And when that happens, when this instability happens, presumably there is some dealing that's going on. It doesn't help Goa to have that kind of instability. Therefore, in conclusion, let me ask each of you. Are you confident, Vijay Sardesai, that 2022 will see an end to this politics of wheeling and dealing?
The first thing is, the cancer that has affected the Goan polity is the cancer of defections. Now this defection the BJP has excelled in. They do something which is post-poll defection, which everybody knows, which comes under the 10th schedule of the constitution.
Yes.
As yet it is rotting in the High Court. The High Court has not decided. The term is almost over. So now after excelling in post-poll defection, they have started pre-poll defection, wherein they took members from every political party. Everybody who is capable of winning, they have, by force or something, they have picked him up. Now, to the luck of the Congress party, they have somehow flushed out all the filth of the Congress. The corrupt, the defectors, everybody has been flushed out by the BJP and taken in as part of their lineup. So the BJP has a very strong lineup. But all heavyweights, many times the ship with heavyweights sinks with his own weight. So I expect that the socio-politically conscious electorate of Goa sinks this BJP ship, gives a clear mandate to the Goa Forward Congress Alliance, and we get rid of defections once and for all, and there will be no willing dealing.
Okay.
Once there is no defection, there is no willing dealing. Nobody comes in the night. We do it in the morning. Yeah.
Okay.
Right in the sun.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We should have, if at all a government should be formed, it should be formed in the sunlight. It shouldn't be formed after midnight, because it is after midnight that most of the wheeling and dealing, it seems, takes place in Goa. Either way, regional parties continue to have an important role because they are connected in many ways to the ground in a small state. Goa's regional identity is an important element of Goa's statehood, and Goa, remember, in 1967 chose not to merge with Maharashtra because the Goans wanted to retain their sense of unique identity. So whichever national party comes to power also and ties up with a regional party, the regional parties will continue, it seems, to have some role to play to tap into that sense of Goa's strong regional aspiration. You are watching the India Today Roundtable here in Pancham.